What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we are Juan, Marcel, and Rhylan, and today we are celebrating 25,000 subscribers here on the channel.
Insane that we've gotten this far.
We haven't fully accepted the number.
No.
we haven't made sense of that yet.
Exactly. I can't even believe there's 25,000 people that
Who
care.
Exactly. In order to celebrate today, we wanted to film a get to know us Q&A. The first time that we did this actually was when we first hit 1,000 subscribers. It was like, how long ago?
A year ago.
About a year ago,
exactly.
We asked you on all of our platforms, and we got so many questions that we were kind of overwhelmed and taken aback by how many of you care to know these things and know more about us on a deeper level. And we're really appreciative and grateful. So we wanted to answer as many as humanly possible. We broke it up into sections, and the first section of questions we're going to answer is the questions that we were asked the most.
Yes. So the first question is, where are you guys from? I was born and raised in Arizona. We're in Arizona right now.
And I was born in Miami, Florida. Next one we got asked a lot was, how did we meet? We've done like TikToks on this and stuff, but the story is Rhylan's parents, they owned a gym up until recently that they trained people in, and I started going there, and I was being trained by her dad and mom. Her mom knew that I was a model as well, and she wanted to have Rhylan make a connection with someone else in the industry, and she thought I was a nice guy, so she forced Rhylan to come inside the gym one day.
And I'm like such a shy person, so forcing me in there it took a lot.
I'm glad she did, because she didn't know. She wasn't trying to be a matchmaker or anything. But I met Rhylan, and I was just like, wow. I don't know why you've been keeping her from me this long.
So the next question is, when did you first start traveling? For us, it was like immediately into our relationship.
Yeah, because we're both models, we both had to travel a lot for work, and we loved it, obviously. So when we met each other, it was just kind of a natural first thing to start getting into.
Yeah.
Next one is, what is your favorite place that you've traveled together? So what do you think?
By the way, we haven't read or answered these questions together. We are just reading them now and then answering together.
This is not scripted television. What's yours?
Mine is definitely Croatia.
Mine too.
Or Italy. I have three.
I have three.
So it's Croatia, Italy, and Thailand.
Yeah, mine too.
Wow, really?
So this next one is one that we get a lot all the time on all of our platforms, and it's, are you guys ever going to visit insert country name here? And the short answer to that is yes.
Yes.
No matter what place you're naming, we want to go. We want to see every single place there is to see
every
on
inch
Earth.
Of the Earth.
Next question is, where are we headed next? We are headed to Milan, Italy. We're super excited about that. Milan is like our favorite.
Oh, it is my favorite city.
Yeah, one of our favorite cities on Earth.
Speaking of going to Milan, a lot of people are asking what our job is.
Before the pandemic, we were full-time models, and that's how we made our income, that's how we traveled. But then obviously with the pandemic, things really shut down. Traveling was non-existent, so modeling kind of got taken away from us, and we were locked down together in Arizona, and that's when we started YouTube. Our first videos, if you go back, they're all from Arizona, and they're really bad.
Yeah, they're really bad.
But it's a memory. It's part of the process. And we started eventually making money from YouTube and social media, TikTok, things like that. So now our jobs are modeling/content creators.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, another one we got asked a lot was, how do we afford all of the traveling that we do? And honestly, it's just, we're very, very fortunate. We get to travel for work. So, for example, in Bangkok, we went to Bangkok to model. That was like why we were there, first of all. And then we just...
Same with Greece as well.
Yeah, Greece, London, all the places you see us posting from, it's usually because we're modeling there.
Yes.
Same with Milan, that's coming up. We're going to be modeling full-time there for 2 or 3 months. That's really how we're able to afford it, because we make money while we're there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, best relationship advice that we can give. I first off want to have a disclaimer. We're not professional people to be giving advice like this.
Definitely not couples therapy.
Yeah.
Couples therapists.
But what's worked for us?
Yeah.
What would you say if somebody came up to you in person and said, what's the secret to how you and Juan have had a healthy relationship?
I think like making sure that you're always kind to each other and that you always respect each other is huge one.
I love that. Yeah. Respect is huge. Don't ever cross that line of like calling your partner something degrading or just showing them that you don't respect them. It's like with anything in life, when you cross a certain line, it's easier to cross it over and over again.
Yeah, and that's why this is a good piece of advice. It's very important to have boundaries.
That's huge. Communication, respect, boundaries, and not crossing any lines that you wouldn't want crossed.
Okay, next question is, do we ever fight?
Oh, we fight. No, but honestly, the thing about our fights, and that's how I feel like it's a healthy relationship, is we fight. Every couple is going to fight. Every couple
fights.
Like, it's not...
If you don't fight, there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's always respect. You will never hear us screaming at each other.
You're respecting each other. Sometimes we get annoyed.
Sometimes we need to blow off steam and we just have an off day, whatever.
Yeah.
That's normal. If you're in a relationship, don't think it's bad if you guys fight. As long as you're always resolving the issues.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is always resolve the issue. Don't like fight or have a little argument and then walk away from it and then act normal.
Do you guys plan on having children is the next one. So, of course.
Yeah.
I want us to be financially stable. Our lifestyle will not work with having children right now. We can't be traveling all over the place and not have an official apartment or a place that we live. The baby needs to have consistency. Yeah. All those things that I worry about. We need to figure those things out first. And then we can have our adorable babies.
Yeah.
I know you're excited.
Next question is, what was our dream jobs before modeling? I wanted to have a degree in nutrition and also have a degree in psychology so that I could help people who maybe were suffering from eating disorders or, those types of things, and know how to talk to people with an eating disorder, but also know how to feed them and cure their disorder.
That. My dream job, I was in my third year actually, of biomedical engineering at the University of Arizona. Then I got scouted for modeling. And they told me I could make money while traveling and doing that. And I was like, okay, I am done with school. The last one that we got asked a lot was something along the lines of, where do you guys see yourself in 40 years? Or what are your life goals? Where do you hope life will take you? These things. That's such a good question. I mean, in the next 40 years... How
old will we be? We'll be almost 60.
Wow. I can't see a reality as of now where we are not still doing YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And content creating. We'll be 60 years old.
Old grandparents.
Vlogging. Hey, kiddos. It's us again.
Okay, so these next questions are not ones that were asked a lot, but they were unique and we just really like them. So let's get into the first one, which is, what is our favorite thing about traveling? My favorite thing, is traveling with you. That's my favorite thing.
Oh wow, that's cute. Yeah, I guess my favorite thing about traveling, besides being able to do it with you, is just exploring new cultures.
Yeah, definitely.
So like meeting different types of people,
food,
eating different types of food, getting to see things that you could only see if you went to these places.
Next question is, how did we deal with being homesick? For me, honestly, I never really got super homesick. Obviously, I missed my whole family, but there was nothing ever that like made me like really homesick.
So you just don't get homesick, really?
I don't really get homesick, I don't think.
I definitely get homesick. I call whenever I'm feeling really homesick, I just call the people I'm thinking about. Sometimes you're gonna miss your family, and that's the natural part of it. But it comes and goes in waves.
Yeah.
And it just, the longer you're away, the more special it is when you come back home.
The first few years I would get really homesick, and especially because I'd be alone. But now that I have Juan, I feel like I'm constantly home because I'm with you.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, next, what was our first trip together?
This was for both of our birthdays, actually.
Yeah.
Because we have our birthdays are very close together. They're 10 days apart.
July 18th, July 8th. We went to Tulum, Mexico. We actually, that's our first travel vlog on our channel, is the Tulum vlog.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of embarrassing, so don't go back and watch it. It was an amazing trip.
Yeah.
Okay, this question is, what did you learn from traveling to all of these countries?
What did you learn? You blanked out.
I've learned from all of our travels that the world is such a beautiful and humongous place. You're never going to get bored of it. You're always going to have something new, refreshing, and amazing to experience. And there's no better way of spending your time or money than going out and exploring it.
Okay, next question is, are you ever scared of the future? I would say I'm honestly not. I'm not ever really scared of the future.
Yeah, I really admire that about you. She's like always just like, it's all gonna work out, everything's good. She's got super positive mindset.
It's natural for me to just be like, oh, but like it's gonna be fine.
I'm a big overthinker, so for me, yes, I'm scared of the future, as in I want to make sure we're in the best situation. I 100% believe in what we're doing, and I love what we're doing. Every second of what we're doing is a blessing to me. So I know that in that way the future is guaranteed to be a banger. But no, yeah, it's natural to be nervous about the future. This next question we love. We're super excited about it. So the question is, can we listen to your podcast on Spotify soon? Answer to that is yes. We've been waiting for the podcast art for a while now, but we just got it back and it's absolutely incredible. It's just what we wanted, and we're just really excited. And
so excited.
It's available on all platforms. We're going to link it down below for you. We released the practice episode that we had put on Patreon earlier. So that's on there for you to listen to now publicly. And we're going to be dropping episodes every week on Wednesdays from now on. It's called the Easygoing Podcast, by the way.
Which is going to be talking about pretty much just everything under the sun.
So go right now and click the link in our description, by the way, and just whatever streaming service or platform that you guys listen to podcasts on, go subscribe, listen, leave us a 5-star review if you think it deserves 5 stars. If not, keep it to yourself.
Okay, the next question is, what were your first impressions of each other? And my first impression was, whoa. I think so. That was my first impression of you. It was, whoa.
It's really just, whoa?
Yeah, my brain went.
Really? Yeah, my first impression was I thought she was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen in my life.
That's so cute.
It's true.
That's cute, baby.
I mean, look at her.
You're
Come
freaking
on.
cutie.
Next question came from our YouTube community post, and that was, how did you guys make long distance work? Number one thing is just designating a time every day that's for each other.
Yes.
Every night we would FaceTime each other after the whole day had gone, and we would make it a point to tell each other about our days.
Yeah.
So that we were part of each other's day every day. It was something to look forward to every night.
Oh, yeah.
We would watch a movie together. We would cook together.
We had FaceTime dates where we would plan to cook meals, like HelloFresh meals. We would get the same HelloFresh plan so that we'd have the same meals so that we could cook them and then like show ours and say whose was
and
better.
brag about who did better or not. Honestly, I think that's even better than what you would often get in the beginning of a regular relationship.
Yeah.
We just had to make an emotional connection at the beginning. So that was, if you're in long distance, don't look at it as a negative thing.
Yeah, it's a positive thing in some ways.
It can be a very positive thing if you make it that.
Next question is, what do you love most about each other? I would say I love everything about him. But I love the way that he carries himself. I love the way that he is a leader. I feel like everybody in the room, if he's talking, is listening to him. He's just very charming and captivating, and
Okay, you're flattering me too much, okay?
and he's just the best person in the world.
You're gonna cry? I love
I'm
you.
holding it together.
You're the sweetest. That's my thing about her, is her heart. The fact that she just wears her heart on her sleeve. The thing when I think about her that makes me go, that's my wife, is I get to have this pure, just angel in my life as my number one confidant and best friend and partner, and she cares so deeply for everyone. She's empathetic. She is...
Hey, okay.
Okay, let's stop, but I love you.
Oh, you're gonna make me a mess.
I love you so
I love
much.
you too.
Next question. When did we know that we were in love? For me, I knew that I loved her after our first long distance trip where I visited her in LA. When we separated and I had to go on my flight back to New York, I was just like, wow, I love her. I don't want to spend a day without her. I want to spend every day for the rest of my life with that person. And I had never felt that way.
Yeah.
Ever in my life, because I'm a very independent person, but with her I was like, I want her right next to me all the time.
Okay, now the next question is, what is one thing that annoys you about the other person?
So you first.
Ooh, I would say, honestly, I don't think this is a bad, I mean, to me, it annoys me, but I would say you get stressed out. And for me, I don't really get too stressed out. Obviously, there's things that definitely stress me out and I'm like a mess, but I think that he gets a lot more stressed.
Yeah, I'm very hard on myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I apply a lot of pressure to myself. If I'm doing something, it needs to be the best. Like, I don't give myself a break.
He's way too hard on himself.
So I understand.
I already know what mine's gonna be.
The thing that annoys me about her is sometimes, I think because she has ADHD or her head's just in the clouds, I will be talking to her and like 3 minutes into the conversation I realize she's got that look in her eyes. She is not listening to me. So my thing is, she doesn't listen all the time. This next one comes from a very close friend of mine, and she's been a huge supporter of us along this way. So shout out to you, Camille. Thank you so much for everything you've done and how you've shown your love and support for us. You're amazing.
Yes, thank you so much. We love you.
And the question is, what is something you didn't like initially that the other person taught you to love? I think like being a morning person.
Oh, that's
and
a
like
good
having
one.
a morning routine.
Yes.
I would sleep in until
yeah.
12, until 1, go to sleep at 4 a.m. Just night owl all the way. I thought I had insomnia or something.
Yeah.
But really, it's just about setting the intention. I want to wake up early. I want to get a head start on my day, and I want to start the day in a positive way. So that's a huge thing.
Oh, yeah. I would say... Ooh, I know something he taught me actually, and this is a big one. It is how to eat and not feel like guilty about it.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. He really showed me how to enjoy food and not have to like feel scared of it, or guilty about it. He taught me a million things, but that's a big one.
I love that answer. This next question comes from Nayla. I hope I pronounced that right, but we always get your DMs on Instagram. We always see your comments. We love you. We appreciate you. Her question is self-love. If you are modeling, it's important to be confident. How do I get to this point?
The way that I love myself is just talking to myself very kind, and he's taught me that, is to always talk to myself nice and not say bad things about myself.
Yeah, I think for me the answer is to have self-love. You have to sometimes just look in the mirror, even on the days you don't love yourself, which I don't do this all the time. I don't want to say that I'm perfect at this. I think the key to self-love is, it sounds obvious, but it is to speak love to yourself. Even if you don't feel it, just force yourself to love yourself. Look in the mirror and go, I love you, I love this about you, I love this about myself. You know, whatever you can try and focus on that you do love about yourself on those days. All right, next question comes from YouTube, again on the community post, and it is from Andy. My question would be, have you guys ever struggled with mental health? And if so, what have you learned / how do you cope? It's a huge question.
That's a good one.
Me personally, I just have a general anxiety. I think it's a heightened one compared to the average person.
Yeah.
I have a lot of anxiety. I'm very like self-aware during social situations, hard on myself, and that applies to everything, like hard on myself on how I'm interacting with someone, how good am I being as a person? Am I doing the most that I can do for the people I love or for myself? And it's not healthy to always be thinking in this way. Honestly, I haven't found a great way to cope, but when I can't self-soothe, I turn to the people who help me, and I have to ask her sometimes, like, literally I ask you, you can tell them, like, is everything okay? Sometimes I just have to like hear that everything's okay.
Yeah, I struggle with OCD, and
you've been diagnosed with OCD. It's not just like, you know, some people say they have OCD, but she's been diagnosed with OCD.
Yeah, I've been diagnosed with OCD, and it's not like the cleaning type of OCD that you think of right when you just think about what OCD is. It's just like intrusive thoughts and things like that. So I too had a really hard time coping and self-soothing for like the first 2 months of really experiencing true OCD and how that felt.
I saw it firsthand, and I really have empathy for those of you who may be dealing with that as well. It's a very serious battle.
I think that just speaking to a therapist is huge. That helped me be able to self-soothe and
be able to understand that it's normal.
Exactly.
So therapy.
Yes.
Huge thing
That's
is therapy.
That's what I would say is therapy is huge, and I couldn't recommend it anymore.
The next question is from Casey, and we see you all the time on Instagram, Casey, and on YouTube. So again, we appreciate you as well. The question is, what is the best advice that you could give? So just general advice.
You go first, because that's a big one.
That is a big one. I think the best advice that I could give, stop worrying so much about what other people think about what you're doing. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to live up to whatever the people around you are saying. Even my parents in the beginning of certain journeys that I've had have been, you know, a little bit doubtful or scared, of course. They're worried about your future. They needed to see how serious I was about it, and that's something that I feel like a lot of kids don't show when they're growing up, because they're scared of what their parents might think is like, it's not a big deal, like this is just some dream. I became a model, which is one career that people would say is very unlikely.
Oh yeah.
And then the pandemic kind of took it away from me, and then we became content creators, which is another career that most people would say, oh, that's a dream.
Yeah.
But you can just do it. Like, you just start doing it, and you just do it over time, and then all of a sudden you look back and you're doing it. Just stop getting in your own way. Don't let other people hold you back. That's my advice.
Yeah.
All right, this next round is just the speed round.
Yes.
These are questions. We got a lot of these questions, but they're like easier to answer, so I'm just going to fire them off.
Yes.
I'm going to read them off. We're going to throw them out there. All right, first, pet peeves.
You go first.
My biggest pet peeve is when people are closed-minded.
Yeah, I would say mine is somebody who is constantly looking at the negative in the situation and is never looking at the positive.
Negative people, yeah.
Yeah, super negative people.
The next one, are you picky eaters or are you open-minded?
Definitely open-minded.
Very open-minded. We will eat anything. We'll try anything once.
Yes.
What are your love languages? So what's yours?
Mine is definitely physical touch and quality time. But I would say first would be physical touch, because I always have to have a hug or a kiss.
Yeah. And mine is definitely quality time and words of affirmation.
Yeah.
I always need to be saying I love you, or hearing it.
Yeah.
Hearing that everything's okay. All these things. I think we have a perfect mix of love languages.
Yes.
What are your signs?
We actually are both cancers.
Yeah, take that as you will. I know some people feel some type of way about cancers, but
girl cancers are better than guy cancers.
I don't know enough about them, but I'm a cancer, all right? Sorry.
Just kidding.
Who was the one who took the first step and approached the other one?
He did.
Me. I knew I had to have her. So I made my move. How old are we?
I am 22.
And I'm 24.
He's getting old.
She always says it. She always says, you're almost 25.
I do.
I'm 24. Okay? Favorite food?
Oh, Italian food.
Italian food for sure. We can just eat Italian food every day.
Anything Italian, give me it.
We also asked on Patreon for this next round. We told them your question will be guaranteed to be answered. Thank you so much for being part of the Patreon. If you're not a part of the Patreon, for the price of a cup of coffee or less, you can support us as creators and you get a ton of exclusive content. We drop once a week on there. New videos, things that aren't listed publicly. It's just for Patreon. But we asked on there, and most of them we've already covered. So one that we haven't covered, and it was a very interesting one, from Rebecca. And she asked, any vacation spots that you would not recommend? She specifically mentioned that she feels that way about Cabo.
That's hard.
It's really hard because we find a way to love everywhere we go.
We try to, yeah.
But I agree with you about Cabo. I've personally been to Cabo.
I've never been.
Any place that's super tourist destination, like most tourist places have things about it that are worth having that many people there.
Yeah.
Like Hawaii, we went and it's worth it.
Bali.
Bali is tourist hub, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Some places it just becomes too much, and then like you lose all the aspects of that place that are actually natural and native to it, and it just becomes like one big trap to just suck your money out. So any tourist trap, that's a no from us. So I hope that answers your question. For the last section of this video, we wanted to have it just be called Love Notes. And that's because some of you just sent in, they weren't questions, you just sent in really sweet comments. We want to put them on screen. We read all of them, and we're always taken aback by you guys. I wish we could fully describe how much we appreciate you and how much your words touch us every single day. Your DMs, your comments, everything. They mean the world to us, and that's why we do everything that we can to respond to every single one of them and make a connection with every single one of you. That's why we're so excited about the podcast. And
so excited.
We just hope that we do a good job of communicating that to you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And on that note, thank you for 25K on this channel. We're so grateful to each and every one of you, and we hope you enjoyed this video. We love you, and we'll see you next week.